Oh dear me, the mill's gone fast, the pair we shifters canna get their rest. Shifting bobbins, coarse and fine, they fairly make work for your 10 and 9. Oh dear me, I wish the day was done, running up and down the pass is nae fun. Shifting piece and spinning, warp, weft and twine, to feed and clothe my bairnies often 10 and 9. Oh dear.
What is your name, maiden?
Mary.
Mary. Where do you live?
I live in the parish of Newburgh.
Who is your husband?
My husband is John. He's a weaver and he works in the field. We've been married for 24 years. We met at church in Abdi.
How many cows and chickens do you have?
We have 1 cow and 6 chickens.
Was your husband ever out of work?
He's worked the whole of his life.
Did he ever miss a day?
No.
Mary, how many children do you have?
Well, I've had 10 children. 6 girls and 4 boys. Only 2 are still with us today. 2 died at birth. Then Margaret, she got tuberculosis when she was 3. And William and Emma, they both had a terrible cough. And then Morag, it was a hard winter, very hard winter, and she died of malnourishment. There was not enough food for the family.
Mary, what have you got there?
Well, this is a shroud that I'm making for my daughter, Augusta. She died yesterday. She was taken by a terrible, terrible cough.
Oh dear me, the mill's gone fast, the pair we shifters canna get their rest. Shifting bobbins, coarse and fine, they fairly make work for your 10 and 9. Oh dear me, I wish the day was done, running up and down the pass is nae fun. Shifting piece and spinning, warp, weft and twine, to feed and clothe my bairnies often 10 and 9. Oh dear me, the world's so divided, them that works the hardest they're the least provided. I man bide contented, dark days are fine, but there's nae much pleasure living.
We've got Reverend Valerie Walker here, who looks after our parish of Lindores. Valerie, we're working on a documentary on linen used in funeral customs and folk traditions. Well, I understand that Jesus was wrapped in a linen cloth after his crucifixion for his burial. Angels are depicted in the Bible wearing white linen. Since then, linen has been seen as a symbol of purity in biblical times. You told me that you have visited the Shroud of Turin. Would you be so kind to tell us a bit about it, your experience, and maybe the importance it has for all of us?
Yes, I was in Turin at a conference and I couldn't resist the thought of going to see this shroud. I went just as a visitor to see any other, tourist attraction. But when I got there, there was something very poignant, very significant about it. The cloth was stretched out and clearly had the imprint of the bones and the face. And I imagined that lying close to the body, probably of Jesus. And it felt very moving to see it.
Wow. That must have been an amazing experience. It's great to hear it from someone so first-hand. Well, there are many biblical accounts of linen and flaxseed in the Bible. The word linen occurs about 104 times in 19 verses, and the word flax occurs 11 times in 10 verses. Now, flax is the plant that is processed to make linen. I would like to ask you if you would be able, or if you would like to read us a passage of one of the references on linen or flax in the Bible. Do you do that for us?
Certainly. I'm going to read from the Gospel of John, and it's the part where Jesus is buried after his crucifixion. The two men took Jesus' body and wrapped it in linen with the spices, according to the Jewish custom of preparing a body for burial.
Act for burying in Scots linen, June 14, 1686. Our Sovereign Lord, for the encouragement of linen manufacturers in this kingdom and prevention of the exportation of the moneys thereof by importing linen, doth with advice and consent of his estates of Parliament statute and ordain that hereafter no corpse of any person whatsoever shall be buried in any shirt, sheet, or anything else except in plain linen, or cloth of hards, made and spun within the kingdom, without lace or point, discharging from henceforth the making use of Holland or other linen. Cloth made in other kingdoms, all silk, hair, woolen, gold or silver, or any other stuff whatsoever than what is made of flax or hards, spun and wrought within the kingdom, as said is, and that under the pain and penalty of £300 for a nobleman, and £200 for each other person, whereof the one half to the discoverer, and the other half to the poor of the parish, where the said corpse shall be so interred. And for the better discovering of the contraveners, it is hereby further statute and ordained, that every minister within the kingdom shall keep a book, containing an exact account and a register of all persons buried within their said parish. As also that someone or more of the relations of the person deceased, or other credible person, tenants in the country and cottars being always excepted, shall within 8 days after such interment bring a certificate upon oath in writing, witnessed by 2 famous persons to the minister, declaring that the said person was wound or wrapped in manner herein prescribed, which certificates are to be recorded by the minister or reader of the parish gratis, without exacting any money therefore. And if no relation of the party buried or other person shall bring such a certificate, within the said time of 8 days, that then and in that case the goods and gear of the party deceased shall be, and are hereby declared, to be liable to the foresaid forfeiture, to be pursued at the instance of the minister of the said parish before any judge competent. And in case the parties prove litigious by advocating or suspending the said sentence, the said judges are hereby authorised and empowered.
Jimmy,
Good morning.
we are working on a documentary on linen used in funeral costumes and folk traditions.
Okay.
We have Jimmy Hutchison here. Jimmy, you're our last remaining handloom-weaver in Newburgh.
Well, probably, yes.
Yeah.
Aye.
So Newburgh must have had around 300 looms during its peak time from 1740s onwards.
Seemingly, yes. Aye.
So today we still have a lane called Shuttlefield in Newburgh, which is dating back to this affluent cottage industry. Do you remember, Jimmy, ever having seen linen to be woven rather than wool in your lifetime?
No, I'm afraid not. But I know we've talked before about my friend Norman Kennedy, the weaver from Aberdeen, and he told me about a weaver he came across in Stonehaven, in south of Aberdeen, and this would be in the 1950s. And this man had a loom like ours, but he had it in a shed with an earth floor, and he was weaving linen, and every now and again he'd throw like a jug full of water under the loom to keep humidity coming up, and so that's the nearest, and just Norman describing that to me, it's the nearest I've come to seeing linen being woven. Never done it myself.
Never done it yourself. Jimmy, are you familiar with the tradition to bury the deceased in linen? Familiar with the idea of it?
Well, I know that they used to talk about shrouds, and I think they would be in linen. There's songs or something. A song about I'll sew my love a shroud to keep his body warm, and for when her love died. Yeah. And that's in an old song called The College Boy, or another name for it is he was 7 years a growing or something. It's to do with this girl falling in love with much younger man. Boy, he was really a college boy. And then at the age of 16, he was a married man at the age of 17, a father to a son at the age of 18. The grass grew over him, and so he was, but and she's mourning him, and she said, I will sew my love's shroud of the oriental brown. And I think it doesn't mention linen, but I'm sure it would have been linen.
I saw my own true love, the fairest of them all. When there I saw my own true love, the fairest of them all. He's my bonny boy, and he's growing, for at the age of 16 years he was a married man, and at the age of 17 the father of a son. And at the age of 21 he did become a man. Though the green grass o'er his grave it was growing. I will buy my love some flannel, and I'll make my love shroud. With every stitch I put in it, the tears will flow down. With every stitch I put in it, the tears will flow down. For cruel fate's put an end to his growing.